Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Dr. Shen said something today that will cause me to buy another 100 shares this morning, of Nio that is. What's happening? Well, a lot is happening. Let's start with this. 5 hours ago, Nio was showcased yet again on popular Chinese news station CCTV, where they highlighted the F2 factory and interviewed the CEO. This is becoming an almost weekly phenomenon in China. Is something happening that we don't know about? It said regarding Firefly deliveries, they will kick off in the end of July in Norway and Netherlands in the end of this month, and for other countries and regions in the third and fourth quarter of this year. That's amazing, guys. We're going global with this Firefly. Dr. Shen said there will be a little surprise on the 10th, which is tomorrow, for the Onvo pre-orders. What is this little surprise? Probably the battery as a service pricing. That's my guess. And maybe they're going to throw in some incentives to bring more awareness to Onvo. But it also says Nio reaches 1,000 swap stations along highways in China. It has completed the construction of a battery swap network along highways between major cities in China, eliminating range anxiety, which is the biggest problem with these electric vehicles. For drivers on highways, Nio operates 3,399 battery swap stations across China, having provided, a cumulative total of 79 million plus services and counting. Does this sound like a business model that's about to go bankrupt and you should sell your shares? Well, please do, but just 100 today. I'll be buying another 100 shares. Nio has reached 1,000 battery swap stations along China's highways as the electric vehicle maker continues to expand its infrastructure. Key word here, the most important thing, something that BYD doesn't have, infrastructure. The 1,000th highway battery swap station was officially launched at the Fushan service area on G5011 Wuhe Haifei Highway, the company announced today. And let me also say this, guys. China just passed a law that EV companies must open up their electric stations to everyone, something that Nio did already. So others will be forced to do so as well in order to help out with, wastage and having too many charging net stations. Imagine China has to regulate to ensure they don't have too much of it. Whereas here in America, under this new administration, they're rolling back and not progressing towards the future with enough battery swap stations, with enough charging stations. Well, there's no battery swap stations, almost none in America, except for a couple cheap knockoff amples, which no one really uses. But we're regressing while China is progressing to the point where they have to slow them down. Nio has completed the construction of highway battery swap networks connecting major cities in China, linking 550 cities, eliminating range anxiety for Nio and Onvo brands. Not for the other brands. We have eliminated range anxiety for our brands with the battery swapping network. And of course, for the other brands that will be joining us in the third quarter of this year, like I believe it's Chang'an and Geely will be releasing battery swap enabled vehicles, as far as I know, by the third quarter, bringing even more revenue for Nio. It says whilst driving on highways, as of now, Nio has a total of 3,399 battery swap stations in China, providing a cumulative total of 79 million battery swap services plus, according to its charging map data. It also has 2,883 supercharging stations in China, providing 13,311 chargers. Yes, Nio is the only company in China that is swappable, chargeable, and upgradable. The only fixed batteries, as well as 1,776 destination chargers stations offering 13,390 charging stalls. Nio is the most of any EV company in China. Nio is also expanding its battery swap network overseas with the help of CATL. We already have 60 stations operational in Europe, but with CATL we're going global. Every country in the world, even in Madagascar. Battery swap stations on highways help alleviate range anxiety for drivers, as we know, during long distance trips where when they're going to visit their families, they don't have to wait half hour to charge, sometimes even more if there are more drivers there and they don't have to fist fight and wait. Especially during peak travel periods such as holidays. During the Labor Day holiday 2 months ago, the busiest Nio battery swap station reached 150 services in a single day. By the end of this year, this will be every day. Currently, these battery swap stations are only available for models under the vehicles from other sub-brand. Firefly will only be able to access the network after Nio launches the 5th generation battery swap station. Next year, they will be using the 5th generation station. So there wouldn't be just battery swap stations for the Firefly brand where people were worried about. It will be the 5th generation station will be able to change the Firefly battery, which is a smaller battery, as well as the Nio brands and the other EV companies that are joining us as well. Nio has announced several battery swap partnerships over the past year, but to date its automotive partners have not yet launched, but we know that they are coming in the third quarter. These facilities currently provide Nio Incorporated users with high quality exclusive services, though this may result in lower utilization rates. Other EV brands such as Li Auto have attempted to enhance their appeal by offering exclusive charging services to owners, but this strategy is becoming increasingly unworkable due to policy reasons. On July 7th, 4 government departments, including the National Development and Reform Commission, announced in a joint document that the new energy makers should open their self-built high-power charging facility networks to all brands without discrimination. As Li Auto previously opened its 4C supercharging while reserving its high-power 5C charging stations exclusively for its own owners, but now they'll have to change that. Tesla initially allowed only its owners to use its supercharging facilities, but it has announced that its facilities, including the latest V4 superchargers, are open to other brands in China, and they charge more for that. But Nio doesn't charge more. I think they should, because we have more charging stations than anyone else. So I hope you guys found this video yet again to be informational, inspirational, and motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we are waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground level up as to how the games are played on Wall Street. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.